Dunham. This is the Lovejoy Chamber Orchestra, and you're watching Leopard Spotlight.
Welcome to the March edition of Leopard Spotlight. I'm Patrick Compton.
And I'm Shivani Radhakrishnan.
In the past few weeks, our reporters have been hard at work to bring you the most interesting stories from the Lovejoy community and beyond.
The average teenager often uses their free time to hang out with friends or binge watch Netflix. But for Lovejoy Junior Christian Sutter, his passion project is located in his garage. Parker and Fallon have the story.
The amount of skill it requires Junior Christian Sutter to fix a motorcycle does not compare to his passion for repairing and riding these machines. Although it takes an immense amount of time, the hard work pays off with the finished product.
The best thing to compare it to is you've been working on something for a while and you put a lot of effort into it, and then it finally turns out the way you want it to, and it's just the joy of having something that you've put so much effort into just kind of come to life and then and just work out. So it's definitely a lot of fun. That's probably the reason why.
Many people have opposing opinions on the safety of motorcycling, but Christian embraces these different views.
I have a good majority of friends that think it's really cool, and they're looking to get bikes themselves because they just think it's really fun. And some people, they just think that it's irresponsible and dangerous, as pretty much everyone else thinks.
Although it is a lifestyle participated in by many people, some riders are torn between the joy of riding and the fear of injury.
You don't really think about the whole crashing thing until something actually happens and you're like, whoa, I almost just died. It scares some people off of their bikes and they'll give it up after one little incident. But for a lot of people, it just it's so fun that you'd rather not live in fear your whole life and have some fun than the opposite. So when you're riding together, there's a sense of unity. You don't really think about the danger when you're riding with everybody.
Christian's motorcycle journey began with little experience, but after some research on a popular auction site, he decided to begin his first project.
It was an $80 dirt bike off Craigslist that had a number of problems with it. It was a good deal because there wasn't a whole lot I had to fix. Part-wise, I didn't have to go out and buy a lot of parts, but it was a lot of tinkering. I figured out what worked and what didn't, and that trial and error process before I learned anything was definitely what made it take so long. If anyone's been working on something, I guess you could relate it to finishing a project you stayed up all night for, just something along those lines. It's definitely it's a rewarding feeling. That's how I describe it.
This is Parker Nolan and Fallon Brothers reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
Sports require a lot of practice to bring team members together to reach their common goals. But what else is involved when some team members have 4 legs? Grant and Bradley have the story.
Timing, teamwork, and trust. These are attributes that every successful team must have, and the Woodhaven Wranglers are no different.
Woodhaven Wranglers is a youth equestrian drill team. We focus on precision and speed, and so everyone here is between the ages of about 10 and 17, and we've all been riding for years, and so Wranglers is all about us building our horsemanship through doing this.
Like any other sport, the Woodhaven Wranglers have a coach who encourages and supports them.
It's been an exciting experience. I started about 5 years ago. My daughter had been on the team for a few years before that, and so we're up to 30 girls on our team, and it's just fun watching them start out from 9 to 10 years old and develop into adult riders and graduate high school and go on to college and have this experience.
Senior Jenna Evans has an important role as team captain.
My job is I blow the whistle to change maneuvers in the drill, and I think the biggest part is I help the other girls with problems. So if they're not getting a certain part of the drill, I help them correct that. And I mean, each girl is amazing, but if they're ever struggling, I feel like I'm a person that they can come and talk to about their problems.
Though many children go through the I want a pony phase, some stick with it.
I had a birthday party, and we hired this lady to come bring her horse so the kids could ride around our backyard, and that's the first time I ever fell in love with horses, and that's what inspired me to be where I am today.
And although many parents hear, "Mommy, Daddy, I want a pony," at some point, some take it seriously.
You know, it all kind of started when my wife drove by and saw a sign that said horse riding lessons, so we started right there. And we've been rodeoing and running barrels, poles. You know, we're blessed that we have horses and our daughter that loves riding them.
This is Grant Dennis and Bradley Davis reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
It's spring and everyone is racing to get things done. Last-minute college decisions, prom dress choices, preparing for AP exams. Here's one more race that you should consider.
The logic behind the phrase opposites attract can be disputed. However, freshman Katie Johnson and senior Ellie Hager might argue the truth behind the expression is sound. Clay and Clayton have the story.
All right, guys, come on in. Get started.
As speech and debate moves on to the end of the year, our top students will compete at the state and national levels against the best of the best. One such student is senior Ellie Hager, who's been competing with the team for 4 years. But this season, for the first time, Ellie is joined in her journey by a novice competitor.
My beginning of debate was really awesome. I went to the debate party, which was the Friday before school started, and I talked to Ellie Hager, who I attribute to being my mentor.
In Katie, Ellie has found someone who is every bit in love with the LD debate as much as Ellie is. So I think Ellie has really enjoyed mentoring Katie and helping her develop this love for this event that Ellie does so well at.
However, as the two have worked and practiced with each other, some differences have become obvious.
My parents are super conservative, and so I grew up super conservative and, always gone to church.
I grew up in New Jersey, which is in the Northeast, and the views in New Jersey are way more liberal than they are in Texas, so I definitely go more one way than the other. And in debate, it's really cool because you have to argue both sides. So because Ellie is from Texas and I am from New Jersey, we have differing viewpoints, but it doesn't really come up in our relationship because when we talk about debate things or we do debate-centric stuff, you focus one way or the other and no side is really right or wrong.
You'll argue things that you don't necessarily agree with all the time, but that you believe are correct in themselves. And so it just never becomes an issue.
With this being Johnson's novice year, 3 more years of competition lie ahead of her. However, for Hager, it is time for her to make decisions about her future and to leave the program behind.
I can tell you whatever Ellie picks, Ellie will do fabulously at it. We like to say she is small but very mighty. And so I have no doubt she'll be very successful.
At first, I was kind of scared about graduating and leaving the debate program because I was like, well, who's going to fill my shoes? Who's going to take leadership? But there are definitely now at this point in the year multiple debaters that I feel like are going to rise up and really carry the program to the next level.
Katie is going to be fun to watch. She is going to debate camp this summer, and she has just a natural born love for debate. So I see really interesting things for her. If I were guessing, I would say that you'll be watching her at nationals before it's all over. So it'll be interesting to see how she does.
This is Clay Parker and Clayton Hounds, reporting for the Lovejoy News Network.
Almost every school has a track and field team, so what makes Lovejoy so special? The answer? Steeplechase. Joe and Haley take us to the track to learn more about the program that has put Lovejoy's facility on the map.
Everyone knows track and field events such as hurdles, pole vault, and relays, but here at Lovejoy, in the past 2 seasons, the track program has added a more unique event.
Yeah, the steeplechase is a 2,000-meter track race where each lap we have 5 barriers, similar to a hurdle, but it's a little bit different. They don't move over, and one of the barriers has a water pit after it, which you jump over, and yeah, it's just one more lap than a mile race.
Lovejoy is only one of 2 schools in Texas that participates in the event. Bob Brands, father of Ryan Brands, discusses how participating in the steeplechase can have an impact on student athletes' futures.
When you go out and you have a child that's a junior or senior, they want to know what your children can run. And so, generally speaking, they're going to say, well, I run the mile or the 2 mile, or I run the 400. By being able to add the javelin, the steeplechase, the pole vault, now our kids can go to those interviews and say, well, I run the steeplechase. And almost every time for distance kids, you see the college coach, you run the steeplechase? It's so rare for a high school kid to be able to practice and be good at a college event. So it's been great.
Though the event is still new to Lovejoy, plenty of athletes are already participating in it. Coach Kelly discusses how these athletes are chosen.
They need to be physically fit to be able to run 2,000 meters at a good pace. They also need to be somewhat athletic. Typically, we'll have kids try and go over hurdles, and we can kind of evaluate if they have the ability to hurdles or not. Usually if they struggle with hurdling hurdles, they're probably not going to be good at the event, so we'll kind of cut them from that.
Reporting for the Lovejoy News Network, this is Joe Cross and Haley Kranz.
We hope you enjoyed these stories. Until next time, I'm Patrick Compton.
And I'm Shivani Radhakrishnan.
And remember, if there's a story to find,
we'll find it here on Leopard Spotlight.